Hi, I'm Charles with AniCap. Previously, a girl named Zaya stumbled onto the mysterious Raksasa Street, where she would need to be rescued by a guy named Yanchao. Raksasa Street is a place for holding spirits of the dead, and Yanchao is its guardian. A look into his past shows that Yanchao has been separated from his little brother, who must now fend for himself. The story continues as we see that the residents of Raksasa Street are being treated like slaves and are turning into evil spirits out of frustration. However, General Lu only wants the strongest of them to join his army, so he has them fight to the death. The victor ends up turning on him, only to fall to Lu's guardian. The guardian is worried that the evil spirits are becoming too strong, but Lu explains that they are still no match for them. He explains that Raksasa Street is a place where the weak will always be slaves, and the strong will rule over them. More residents are being captured as Liang tries to avoid being found. Some of the villagers begin to lose hope and must be reminded to calm down so they don't become evil spirits. An old man spots Liang and instantly recognizes him as a human. He points out that Lu's men will eventually find her because of him, and the stress from running will turn her into an evil spirit. However, Liang explains that she is far too nice of a person to ever become evil. Elsewhere, General Lu scolds one of his men for failing to find Liang. He has him punished and gives the task to a more suitable soldier. General Lu's guardian explains that a child can never survive alone in Raksasa Street, and they should end the search. Lu states that Liang doesn't have psychic powers and will not be able to leave on his own. If he is dead, there should at least be a corpse, but it's more likely that he is being helped by someone. Lu is certain though that it isn't his brother, since no one has ever escaped Death Island. However, we see that his brother has actually escaped, and is making his way to Raksasa Street at that very moment. It's a long journey, but Yanchao is more determined than ever. Yujin explains though that he must be more careful, since being captured this time might mean death. Meanwhile, Liang continues to live in the shadows as we see that his friend tries her best to keep from falling into despair. General Lu torments the villagers in the hopes that they will give information on Liang's whereabouts. Just as one man is about to become an evil spirit, the old man from earlier gives Liang's exact location. General Lu sends his champion after him just as we see that Yanchao has returned. The soldiers have finally found Liang, who attempts to protect his friend. The evil spirits explain that they plan to torture her for helping a human, and Liang mimics his brother in an attempt to summon a guardian. He has no powers though, and the soldier explains that Raksasa Street is no place for the weak. Just then, Yanchao arrives to save his brother, and surprises everyone as he was never supposed to be able to escape from Death Island. Liang can finally feel relief as he explains that he hasn't cried a single time after being separated, and bravely protected his new friend. Yanchao realizes that she is the mute girl they saved earlier, and credits her with watching over his brother, but Liang is quick to point out that he was the one protecting her. Yujin's fight is over, and he points out that he has become stronger because Yanchao has grown in power. Liang explains to his friend that they can rest easy now since his brother can protect them. However, everyone is shocked to see that the help has come too late, and she has already begun transforming into an evil spirit. Back to the present, Zaya struggles with her training to summon her guardian. She explains that it seems upset, but Liang says that can't be, since guardians usually appear when they want to protect their hosts. Zaya decides to ask Yanchao for help, but is told that he is out looking for clues that might help him find the person accused of killing his parents. We see that Yanchao's search leads him to another Requiem Street, but the general there has no information. He asks that Yanchao come in to visit, but they both know that generals can't enter Requiem Streets that aren't their own. Further searching leads nowhere, but we do see that he is being watched by the Kingdom organization. The man thinks Yanchao is foolish for being alone, but is shocked to see him disappear, and sneak up on his robot. Back at Raksasa Street, Zaya makes it clear that she is not worried about Yanchao. What concerns her is that the Kingdom organization will come for her, but Liang explains that the border to Raksasa Street will make it difficult. She points out that them being after her guardian, her difficulty when communicating with it, and the fact that the criminal reappearing now is too much of a coincidence. She fears it is all being planned by the Kingdom organization, and they are extremely vulnerable now that Yanchao isn't there. Zaya doesn't want to offend Liang, but she knows that he is not able to summon a guardian like his brother. Liang begins to correct that statement, but something captures their attention. Yanchao destroys the robot, and Gaifu reveals himself. He explains that he doesn't have any clues on Longdao, and points out that Yanchao is overworking himself to find him. Yanchao reminds him that Longdao killed his parents, but Gaifu explains that no one knows that for sure. The man hasn't been found in 10 years, and what's most important now is protecting Zaya. Yanchao explains that she is safe in Raksasa Street, but Gaifu tells him that might not be the case. The Kingdom organization has been experimenting with ways to get into Raksasa Street, and it's unclear how close they are to doing it. Gaifu manages to use the robot to contact the Kingdom organization member watching them. He would like the man to exchange names with them before they begin their fight, but the man reveals that he has no interest in fighting them. He explains that his only goal is getting to Xayah, and he has already won. We then see that Xayah and Liang have come under the attack of a giant spider. Xayah would like for them both to run away, but Liang knows that he must fight without his brother there. Liang's attack is very powerful, but the creature's skin is too thick. Its diamond web attack is clearly dangerous as it easily cuts through the wall of their house. Liang manages to cut through it with his blade, but the spider is quick to react. With Xayah captured, the man explains that he has won and tells Yanchao that he was too careless, leaving Xayah alone in Raksasa Street. However, Yanchao explains that she isn't alone, and extreme circumstances bring out people's true potential. Xayah determines that she must fight since Yanchao isn't there, but fails to summon her guardian. The man explains that the spider's web restricts the flow of psychic power, and the battle is now over. However, Yanchao reveals that the potential he was talking about wasn't Xayah's, it was actually Liang's. Just then, Liang summons a guardian of his own. The two of them attack the beast with immense speed and power, but the spider manages to release its spawn. Liang isn't done either though, and the pair take to the sky where they unleash a barrage of missiles that rain down on all the spiders. The Kingdom organization member is in disbelief, and Gaifu tells him that he should have done some research. It is well known in the spirit realm that there is a Requiem Street in the west that is home to two brothers that should never be messed with. One is the Flame General Yanchao, and the other is known as the Bomber Liang. Xayah can only stare in amazement, knowing that Liang is not a spirit host, but still somehow managed to summon a guardian. Another glimpse into the past shows that Liang's friend has lost herself as she begins to attack him. Yanchao must call out for Yujin to rescue his brother, as Liang is too shocked to even move. Even after all that, Liang is furious that Yujin hit his friend, and explains that she is too kind of a person to become an evil spirit. However, he would eventually have to face reality when Yanchao points out that she is no longer the person she once was. Liang begs for the transformation to stop, explaining that she had been by his side the entire time Yanchao was gone. She even fed him and put him to sleep. He still wants Yujin to let her go because he still believes in her kindness, even going as far as to demand he release her. Yanchao doesn't know what to do, and Yujin explains that the spirits of the dead still hold the memories from their life, but once they become evil spirits, everything is lost. She has already given up hope, and there is no way to change her back. Yanchao realizes now that they must end her suffering, but Liang refuses to let him hurt her and once again demands they let her go. Yanchao decides that he will give his brother what he wants, and instructs Yujin to free her. Against his better judgment, Yujin obeys his lord and releases the girl. Liang states that he has kept his promise to protect her, and when she growls at him, reminds her of who he is. However, she still attacks him, forcing Liang to call out for help. Yanchao allows him to suffer for a moment, only intervening after he is nearly suffocated. Yanchao apologizes as he explains that he has made a promise to protect Liang and must now end the spirit's life. Yanchao makes the command, and Liang can only watch as Yujin ends it. Liang is beside himself, and Yujin explains that some with more psychic power might have managed to control themselves in that state, using fear and hatred. However, that girl was far too kind, and Yanchao despises how kindness is now a weakness in the current Raksasa Street. The two are well aware of who is responsible, and we see that General Lu is completely oblivious as he takes a leisurely bath. His guardian wants to know why he focuses so much on the two boys, and Lu explains it's because he wants to teach him a lesson about how cruel the world is. He decides that they must catch them at all costs now, and sends his guardian to capture them this time. Liang must then bury his friend as Yanchao laments how they didn't even get the chance to know her name. All that's left are their memories of her, and the brothers decide to give her the name Ro. Liang lashes out at Yanchao though, explaining that he is no brother of his any longer. He hates him now, along with Yujin and all the spirits that exist. Liang explains that being more powerful than her does not mean that they had the right to decide if she lives or dies. Liang acknowledges that he is not a spirit host and has no guardian, but he vows to outdo his brother. He promises to eclipse him in power one day and have his revenge. Yanchao accepts his decision, stating that Ro's kindness is what led to her death, and their weakness allowed it to happen. They must both become stronger to wash themselves of their sins, and Yanchao asks his brother to begin training with him. We then see that General Lu's guardian had been watching them, but leaves them alone. He reports that they escaped before he could capture them, but he believes that Yanchao only came back to get his brother, and they will not be returning. Lu is glad to hear that and explains that they would have to be insane to come back. However, outside we see that Liang desperately wants to return. Yanchao explains that they will once they become stronger, and they will take everything back. Thanks for watching part 4, 10,000 likes and I'll know you guys want a part 5.